This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy web show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a fellow Miami girl. I'll tell you all about her and introduce you as soon as we come back from these messages from our sponsors. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, a business owner, a visionary, a cat and dog person, a canine massage and water specialist, soon-to-be canine fitness trainer. She's an aspiring chef, an avid kayaker and hiker. She's wife to Julian, cat ma to Russian blue mix Slater, and dog ma to Italian Spinone. Two of them, Jenny and Kevin. She's a Miamian born and raised, and Miami's OG pet concierge, Nicole Packin. Welcome, Nicole.
For having me. It's really good to see you.
It's so good to see you and meet you. I feel like we're like besties because we're both from Miami.
No, we are. I feel the same way.
Hopefully when COVID is over, I will be able to go see my mom and see my friends and go to Little Havana and have a cocktail or two.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, before I get into this any further, anybody participating in our drinking game tonight, anytime you hear this word, make sure you take a drink of whatever you're enjoying, but please be of age wherever it is you're joining us from. Never drink and drive and always drink responsibly. So what are you drinking today?
I am drinking my raspberry White Claw on ice because it's a little bougie, but you have to put it on ice. So I'm going to open it, fresh one for you.
Woohoo!
With my little hoity-toity cup. You hear that?
Yes.
Woo! Cheers to you.
Cheers.
What are you
Thanks
drinking?
for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. What are you drinking?
I am having a boozy cafecito because this is a Miami themed show, girl.
Absolutely. I didn't do the Miami theme, but okay.
What do you mean? What's more Miami than White Claw?
That's true. That's
like
true.
Right now.
That's true. I'm not a big drinker, so I was like, okay, let's just go with White Claw.
A hard seltzer is always a nice, like, refreshing drink.
Absolutely.
And it's not too boozy.
Not bad.
Perfect. Well, you know what's funny about this drink is I asked my husband at around 11:30 to make me a cup of coffee. I totally forgot about it, and then I wanted to still drink it. Look at that! We have a cat! We have a cat cameo!
This is Slater.
Hi, Slater!
Slater, are you going to say hi? He's been interested in this camera the whole time I've been setting up, so it doesn't surprise me that he's decided to come and say hello.
Well, it's always a pleasure to see the resident pets on the screen, for real.
Maybe,
So anyway,
you'll see the guys later.
I will. I absolutely love it. So long as they don't partake in the boozing, I'm happy to see the pets. But yeah, so I decided to make my café con leche, which is what I have every morning, a little boozy, and call it a cafecito because we're talking about Miami.
Nice.
Which brings me to my first game of the night.
Nice.
So if anybody watching or listening does not know this, Vanilla Ice is from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He put Miami on the map in ways that really nobody expected him to do back in the day. What was that, like 92 or something when his like
so.
Ice Ice Baby
late
came
80s
out?
and early 90s. Absolutely.
Okay, and then he made it so big that he had a house on Star Island that we always would go on to Star Island and ask permission just to drive by it. Did you ever do that?
Absolutely we would do that.
Like,
and I think like Two Live Crew.
Really?
Do you ever remember trying to find, I might be a little bit older than you. So yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So Two Live Crew had houses out there too, and they owned a bar on Miami Beach. And the big thing was to try to get into their videos. Now I didn't do that, but I do know friends of mine that would go out and go to the beach or try to find them to try to be extras in their videos.
I love that. I love that so much. Well, I always introduce this show with a game. And this game is called Yo, I'll Solve It because of that lyric. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. Check out this hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Remember that?
Right, of course.
So this is a game about problems that pet parents might have with their pets. And I'm going to ask you, how do you solve it for them?
This is good. Okay. Nice.
Got it?
Yep.
All right. There's a family with 2 dogs and a cat, and they've planned a day trip to the Everglades, but they have no idea what time they'll get back. How do you solve it?
Well, we offer them pet sitting, which is multiple visits a day. And depending upon when they think they get home, we offer the last visit. And if they're running late, they simply call us and we go and provide another additional visit until they come home. That's why we always offer an emergency plan, because if someone's running late, they're in the Everglades, their car breaks down, their plane doesn't go, or they just don't feel like coming home, we're there.
Amazing.
Thank you.
A family with 2 small dogs has construction going on in the house, and they're scared the dogs are not going to do well while that's happening.
Well, if they're small enough, we board them for them. We don't, then we're going to have to probably offer them another solution outside of their home, which would be boarding them with either a facility that we work with or another pet care company in town that we have relationships with. But the first thing we would do is probably offer them boarding.
And the boarding you do is at one of your employees' homes, right?
Correct. A few of us board. So what we do is we bring them into our home and they become guests in our home. So whatever our dogs do, they do, the guests' dogs do as well. For instance, if your dog was coming into my home and it was still being crated for potty training, then our guys would be crated for potty training. It's equal. Everybody's equal. They all get equal special treatment.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love it. Okay, well, in my house, Titan gets special treatment and the other 2 dogs know it. And my child, the 3-year-old, knows it because Titan is like my special boy and he gets all the special treatment. But it's nice that it's more diplomatic at your house.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 3 dogs in a crate and 1 running free, I just kind of feel like some animosity. I know they're animals, but still there could be something that develops, and I feel like it's only fair that everybody gets treated the same. Now that doesn't mean that they're going to sit in the crate all day. That means they're just going to be staying in their crate when not watched or overnight. But the rest of them, you ask anyone, it's a country club when they get to stay with us.
Nice.
It's a staycation. Yes.
I love that. Yeah, it's definitely a staycation. Okay, a mom is in labor. Her water has broken and they're headed to the hospital. It's the middle of the night. And they have 2 dogs that need to be walked and fed first thing in the morning. How do you solve
We've had that situation. Oops, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Excited. We've had this situation multiple times, and most of the time, our clients have already set up what they want when they're going to go into labor, and they give us the time frame of, listen, this is my due date, but I could be 2 weeks early, I could be 2 weeks late. So we become pretty much on call for them, and they call a back number and they wake us up and we immediately take charge for their pets while they're gone. And depending upon if they're in the hospital for a day, 2 days, 4 days, whatever it is, we continue caring for them until they come home safely with their baby.
Awesome. Okay, next one.
All right, let's do it. Keep it going.
Yeah, no, I have a few left. That same mom decides that she wants her in-laws, who live locally, to take the dogs for the next few weeks because she's overwhelmed with motherhood. And the in-laws don't drive. How do you solve it?
Our pet taxi services, of course.
Of course.
So we provide pet taxi services for our clients, whether it's something like this where in-laws can't drive, pets need to get there, mom's overwhelmed with new baby, or you're going to the airport, you can't get into an Uber with your pet because the Uber driver won't allow you, we'll transport them and meet you. Or you're busy and you don't want to spend the weekend at the veterinarian or shopping for additional pet supplies. You tell us where everything needs to be picked up, we do it for you and pet taxi it back to your house.
Perfect. Actually, that brings me to my next one. The dog runs out of a prescription. The family only has 1 car, which is currently in use. The pharmacy won't deliver. How do you solve it?
Well, we simply make a phone call to the veterinarian, get permission from the owner that we can pick up the prescription. We pick it up and we drop it off for them. And we have some clients that we know each month, each 60 days, 90 days, whichever the prescription is filled out to, that we do that on a rotating basis for them. It's very popular with monthly medications.
You know what? That is actually something that happened to me. We currently have 2 cars because we just got a second car. But for a long time, I was working from home and I didn't want a second car because it's always a temptation to go to Target and I didn't want to go to Target. So I was like, Chris, I don't need a car. I don't need a car. But then that one day, Radar runs out of blood pressure medication, which is not something you can like skip.
No.
And I didn't have a car. I called every pharmacy. Nobody was delivering. And I would have totally wanted a service like, hey, can you guys go swing by at some point and pick this up because it's an emergency and I'm not walking to the vet with like 2 children in like, it's like 5 miles away.
Absolutely. We have that request a lot, especially for our senior clients that either share a car or no longer drive anymore. But it happens a lot with pets that have diabetes. People think they have enough insulin in the refrigerator and they get back to that bottle and they panic. So luckily we can do that for them. And luckily we can go to a CVS or a Costco or a Target pharmacy because some veterinarians aren't open on the weekends. So we'll make it happen as best as we can.
I love it, love it, love it. Okay, that new baby we were talking about, it has colic. And it's taking up everybody's time, energy, etc. The dogs love to help with the new baby, but they're kind of being neglected. How do you solve it?
We offer daily visits. We come in and we take that, what now has become a burden, off the new parent's plate. Whether it's taking them to a dog walk, taking them to the dog park, just getting them out. We're also going to feed them, offer their medication, brush them, play with them, whatever it is to take that extra time and need that the baby needs away from the parents. And it happens, people are human. But what we're going to do is we're gonna offer whatever we can and we're gonna personalize it for that parent, for those pets, so that those pets remain in the home. That's the big thing. We wanna save you time so that the pets remain there, because that's where, in Miami, people like to give things away. They get bored very easily, and pets are not, they're part of that equation, unfortunately. So our job is to try to help people keep their pets in the house, enjoy them, and also bring them into the family with new baby.
Absolutely. And as somebody who had a baby just a year ago, pre-COVID, I had a dog walker coming in every single day, midday, and my dogs loved it. And it was like just one less thing we had to do as a family with a young toddler, a new baby, my husband working back and forth to the office. And it was really nice. So I always say when people are like, what do I get, like this, maybe a second time mom, right? Like she already has all her basics. She probably already has the crib and the high chair and all those things. I'm like, get her a gift certificate to a dog walker if she has a dog.
Because they feel so sad, the moms, and they feel so, guilty because their 4-legged baby was their first, but they need the help. And I know a lot of strong women like you and I were not ones to ask for it because we are she-man and we can do everything. But if they gave a gift certificate and just took that one responsibility, you're not being a bad mom. You're actually being more responsible. And that will really help them. The other thing is, I bet when you were having that happen last year after you gave birth, your dogs were so excited and knew. I mean, it's almost like clockwork. They would be waiting for you.
Yes.
Someone's into the spirit. You can see. So
Hi there.
Come here.
Later. So we already talked about this before we started recording, but I'll catch y'all up who are listening or watching on YouTube. Slater was named after?
Slater was actually, my husband and I, when we met, we had 4 pets together and they were all seniors. And unfortunately, within a 2-year period, we had a very, very sad few years where all of our seniors left us, natural causes. And beginning of COVID last March, our house was very empty. We had our senior beagle who was getting older and she was really lonely. So we looked online and found Slater, and he was named Slater. And we were like, oh, we're Saved by the Bell fans, so we'll keep it. And then we ended up getting 2 new dogs in December, and we were going to name them after characters in Saved by the Bell, but they didn't really work out very well. So now Kevin and Jenny are named after. Do you know the show?
No. So I literally have this question as our next question.
Okay.
why did you give your dogs regular old people names?
So we were going to go with the theme of Saved by the Bell because it is one of our childhood favorite shows. And our boy was going to be Morris and our girl was going to be Jessie. But when we met them, they just didn't look like Morris and Jessie. They looked like Kevin and Jenny. So my husband chose the names while I got to choose the breeds. And they're named after our two favorite characters in an FX show called The League. And a lot of people might not have heard about it, but it's the best show ever.
I will have to check it out. I bet you my husband's watched it. And when I say the dogs' names are Kevin and Jenny.
Kevin and Jenny.
He's going to be like, yeah, from The League.
You know, I would never have watched this show, but my husband kept saying, you got to watch it. It's hilarious. I'm like, all right. You know, I'm a 1 hour drama snob. I don't like comedies. And it's about football, and who wants to watch about football? Because it's about a fantasy football league, but it's about the relationships. And it's 4 guys and a girl, and Jenny is the wife of Kevin. So I don't want to give anything away, but if you watch it, it's smarter than kind of potty humor, but you have to have kind of a thick skin because it's boy humor.
It's boy humor. So my husband's definitely seen it.
Yeah, he's seen it.
And if there are any dad jokes in there, he like loves the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
We've already talked about Miami Pet Concierge and all the things that Miami Pet Concierge offers Miami pet parents, but you have some plans coming up that I want to dig into. So I want to ask you some more questions as soon as we come back from these messages from our sponsors. Okay. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arada, and today I'm having a drink and a chat with Miami's Pet Concierge and Nicole Packin. But Miami is not her only city right now. I feel like you have some plans to move elsewhere. But before we get into that, we have another game to play.
Ooh, okay.
It's called The Fishbowl. Okay? And it's inspired by 2 things. It is inspired by the show, The Shark Tank. But that's already taken, obviously. And so I thought, what was more appropriate than the Shark Tank for this game? And I thought, the fishbowl. Like those huge fishbowl drinks that you get on Ocean Drive that cost like $150.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
All right, so in this game, I'm gonna give you 1 minute. And I'm gonna put it on my timer. You're gonna pitch the plan that you have for your next venture to me as if I were a shark on the Shark Tank. You're gonna tell me, gonna tell me, you're gonna pitch the vision for the Packin Method. You're gonna tell me what it is. You're gonna tell me why it's important, and you're gonna tell me how you plan to make it a success. Ready to go?
Game on.
All right, let's do it.
Oh God, okay.
Go.
The Packin Method is a mobile canine gym for the ages. My background is canine fitness and rehabilitation and water therapy. And I've always been fascinated by the canine body. And what I've noticed over the last year is more and more dogs having developmental, both mental and physical issues, behavioral issues, weight loss or weight gain issues, and physical therapy issues that aren't being looked at other than put them in a crate for 8 weeks and let them take their medication and get better. I'm the product of an orthopedic surgeon, my father, and so I've watched what physical fitness can do to people's bodies once they've had some type of surgery or ailment like a twisted ankle, or think about kids that just need to burn out that extra energy. It's just like dogs. So with a background in animal behavior and a background in physical therapy, I'm combining them for the Packin Method. And the idea is that we're going to come to our clients' homes with a mobile gym that includes 2 canine treadmills, and we're going to work out people's dogs for strength, endurance, weight loss, and behavior modification. And you're going to say, well, what does that mean by behavior modification? Because weight loss you get, strength you get, endurance you get, but why behavior modification? I'll give you an example. I have a 5-month-old Italian Spinoni who is 45 pounds, and he is a floppy, we call him our or at, I don't know if you know what an at is from Star Wars, or he's a Clydesdale, and he just has a lot of energy, but he also has a lot of it up here, and he doesn't know how to get rid of that. It doesn't matter if you walk him, if you let him play with toys, if you let him play with other siblings or interact with other dogs, he still has a lot of pent up energy. So the second I put his little harness on and he jumps on that treadmill, he is ready to work. However, he's less than a year old, so we can't push him into a run because his bones aren't fused. So he will naturally trot to walk in about a 3 mile per hour rate, I would say. For Kevin, if I get him on there for 10 to 11 minutes, he's done, because now he's using his body. He's thinking about balance. He's thinking about speed. And he has to work because it's his own body pushing the machine, and it's not electric.
You sold me. I'm ready to make you an offer. That sounds amazing. That sounds like something people need, because like we said, people are busy, right? All the problems you solved, taking on your pet's fitness when you're not even taking care of your own is a bridge too far for way too many people. So that
Correct.
sounds like such an awesome solution.
Well, there's also the reason why it also works. A dog walk isn't necessarily exercise for most dogs. It stretches their legs, it gets them out to sniff and bumblebee and do their business. But like people, they need to sweat. But I want to just make sure that people understand that this isn't get them on a treadmill and run them till they're passed out. This is monitored specifically for their body, their breed, their age, everything about them personalized. And, it's good for a Chihuahua up to a Great Dane. It's monitored and it's personalized for that animal. And they love it. They absolutely love it. So yeah, we're getting excited. We're excited to do this.
That is so cool. I totally, I like, I'm not just kidding. I would really, I could see that being super successful. So why Denver?
Good question. My husband and I have always wanted to be, not live in Florida forever. And we always thought that we would eventually move somewhere else. And we originally thought about North Carolina. But to be honest with you, about a year and a half ago, we went to Denver for a business meeting for him and spent time in Boulder and just absolutely fell in love with it. It's the number one city in the country for pet-friendly environments. It has 300 days of crystal clear skies. I think it rains 50 days a year. And we love to hike. We don't mind the snow. I prefer hiking boots to sneakers. I prefer, I love scarves and hats and jackets. And I'm a Florida girl, but put me in the cold weather and I'm a happy girl. So it was kind of just a fluke.
That's so cool. No, that's how things happen, right? Like you guys went to Denver on that business trip because it was meant to inspire.
It was totally meant to be.
This. Yeah.
I mean, COVID has put a knock in it. So we were supposed to start it in the this year right now, but we thought the best plan was to postpone it by about 6 months because it just, with everything going on, we just felt it was a better plan.
So cool. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be driving a mobile canine gym is what you call it.
A mobile canine gym.
So you're going to be driving it in snow.
Yes.
So apart from these like fitness certifications, are you getting like a trucker's license or something?
You don't need it. No, believe it or not, we looked at different types of vehicles to provide the service. And we found this magical place in Southern California called Happier Campers. And just the name itself makes you happy, but they customize these really cool travel trailers that people are now purchasing to go camping, where they can sleep in it for a day or two, like a weekend mini camper. As nice as a, I don't even know, like, one of the nicer ones, but they're small. And so instead of having it sleep and have a little kitchen and a bathroom and all that stuff, we have had them redesign it for us to be able to put in our treadmills and use it as an office space treadmill. So it's not your typical looking travel trailer. It's really kind of, it has a little bit of like a 70s vibe to it. It's really cool and it's cute as heck. And I'm so excited. It's taken us a year to get it because they've sold out of so many of them.
Oh my gosh, I'm so in.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool idea. This
Yeah.
is so exciting. I'm excited for you, for real.
Thank you. And we already have the order for the second one because we knew, I think, like, I have so much faith this is going to blow up that we put an order in for a second because I'm afraid that we're going to need it now and we're not going to have to wait.
Okay, so this is from your lips to God's ears, right? Manifest it, girl. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe in this method. I will manifest with you. But I will tell you this, and this is completely unrelated to your projects, but I'll give you my experience as a pet parent. Recently, I had an acupuncture appointment for my dog Titan, and he is at the end of his life, and he has a degenerative disease. The acupuncturist came and gave me some, ideas for like an herbal that he can get. And one of the things that she gave me was actually recommendations for exercises for him and his condition. And one of them is walking him in figure eights.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is walking him backwards.
Yes.
And then she has us kind of making him lift his legs a little bit, like with a pool noodle down.
Yep.
Kind of like, think of like what horses do when they're
Absolutely.
like,
they're stepping.
Yeah, they're stepping. Exactly. So like we are doing this with our dog, and it's not just the exercises, it's all of the care that we're giving him. I know that it's a whole slew of things that are contributing to his progress, but he's walking every single day. He's almost 14. Because of this exercise, we are giving him life.
Absolutely. What is he, a German Shepherd?
He is. It is DNA. I just did his DNA.
Okay,
he
so
is
he's
like
a mix.
13. Yeah, he's a huge mix, but he has, which is a very similar to a German Shepherd.
Okay.
For those of you who are listening on Pet Life Radio, Nicole is literally looking over her cat's torso to speak to me because he really wants to get in on this conversation.
He's really interested in my White Claw. So
I know
he's over here sniffing the ice cubes.
Don't let him drink.
I
can't have that on my conscience.
No. I keep smushing him away. The more you keep them active, and unfortunately, I think that there's a lack of education with all senior pets that we instantly think, oh, well, if they're mobile, they're going to feel better. And it's the opposite. Just like a person with arthritis, you need to move, you need to lubricate those joints, stretch them. And the exercises that Titan is doing is excellent because you want to keep his muscles alive. And also you want to keep them strong and not atrophy. And that's exactly what they're doing. The Crazy 8 is excellent because it works on balance. And when you do backward steps or up the stairs, it's all balance and strength work. So this treadmill would be the same thing, except for him, we would walk him on maybe a mile an hour, but just getting him to keep his gait and move. Yes. It's really, really important. And for especially too for brachio dogs, which are pugs and English bulldogs, the smush face, it's too hot for these dogs. So put them on an air conditioning treadmill where they can get, a little bit of exercise. 15 minutes on the treadmill is about a 2-hour human run. So you get how the equivalent is unbelievable. And they only have to do it once or twice a week to feel the benefits or get the benefits.
That's amazing. And yeah, you said like weather is a huge consideration, especially at an age like that. Like in Denver, there's ice on the ground. I'm not taking my dog out for a walk because he could slip and break something, and then I'd have to say goodbye instantly. And then in Miami, or yeah. Well, I was a professional dog walker, so hopefully I would, in DC, in the DC area. So hopefully I still have my ice legs, I guess you could say. But like in Miami, the weather's so hot sometimes that you really do need, and it's humid, and it's exhausting to even be outside for too long, especially in the middle of the day when most people would probably want like, oh yeah, come get my dog. And you're already a dog walker pet sitter, so you already know how to go into a house, take the dog, do the things. This sounds like you have my approval.
Let's cheers to that.
Yes, it's going to be a huge success.
Woo! Cheers.
To the Packin Method.
To the Packin Method. I will give credit where credit is deserved. My husband did come up with this idea as a means to, we wanted to expand Miami Pet Concierge, but do something that would benefit our clients and the pets of Miami and Boulder, but also utilize my education, where, Miami is not the most progressive city when it comes to medical care for pets, the way that Boulder is in the West Coast. So having a massage therapy degree and a water therapy degree and a behavior degree, it's difficult to combine all that, where people aren't necessarily, they kind of think it's frou-frou. And what they don't understand is this is not a competition with a veterinary medicine. This is a complementary.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything, this, just like acupuncture and laser treatment and water therapy, it's all complementary and beneficial. So for me, I want to sell it that, like you, it's the same thing for pets. They just have 4 legs where we have 2. So we're really excited, and we're gonna make this. I can't even explain. I'm excited about it.
I am so excited for you. So tell me, how can our listeners and viewers follow this journey and get updates as to when this is ready to go?
Sure. So listeners can either follow us on Instagram, which is Miami Pet Concierge, also on Facebook, Miami Pet Concierge. They can email us anytime at info@miamipetconcierge.com. The biggest thing for me is that people understand, again, this is a complementary therapy and workout for any animal, and that it's important that they speak to their veterinarian first, because we are not veterinarians. And I never want to overstep or disrespect the veterinarian field. So it's important that they speak to their doctor first.
Slow clap.
Thank you. Drops mic. No, I'm just joking.
It drops mic. Exactly. That is the perfect way to wrap up the show. Here's to you and all of these fabulous plans. May you be super successful. Cheers.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was lovely meeting you, and thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
It's my absolute pleasure. I also want to propose a toast to our executive producer, Mark Winter, for making this show possible, to our viewers on YouTube, and of course, our listeners on Pet Life Radio. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Here's to a life covered in pet hair, because there is no better way to live. Cheers!
Cheers!
To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.